Okay, so I would be doing first grade. My rules would be simple, but I would also do it with the class, get their input, my input, laminate it, so on. So these are my examples. Listen carefully, follow directions, working quietly, respecting others, respecting school property, and working and playing safely. Consequence plan, pretty basic. Verbal warning the first time, a conference between me and the student for the second warning. The third time, notifying the parent, and then a conference with the parent, and then an office referral for the last one. When students enter the classroom, I expect them to enter quietly, to put up all their backpacks, sit in their assigned seat, and then look at the board for bell work and get started on that while I introduce or greet the kids to come in, or the students to come in. For tardiness, I just expect them to enter the room quietly. I'll have like a tardy log that they can sign, and then they'll also join the class and begin working with whatever we're doing. For taking attendance, I like the idea of a smart board and having them be accountable for that. So they would just like, there's a attendance report, and next to their name they would put present, and that would show them how to be accountable for that. Seating arrangements, I chose that I would like to do flexible seating, and there would be rules for flexible seating, and they could lose their privilege from sitting on a fun chair. So it's just simple, like they can choose the first time where they want to sit. They can only move one time. They have to sit correctly, and then remember that this is a tool and not toys. And then the last thing it could be, I would move them if they're not doing their work. For throwing trash away, I would have them put a little trash can in the middle of their table, because they would be sitting in groups, and they would just fill it up, and then somebody would be assigned to clear the trash out, and they would have to clear it out for their table each time they got filled. Pencil sharpening, I don't want them sharpening their pencils, so I would have something like this where there's a sharp and the dual pencils, and also I would assign a pencil sharpener student to take care of that if their peers needed it in their group, a new pencil. To get a drink, I like the verbal signals, so they would just signal 2 fingers, and they would have to wear a hallway vest, so that would be like their hallway pass. If they're sick, they would signal 3. I would give them a nurse's pass. Well, they would get it from the door, and they would also wear a hallway pass so that they know that they have permission to leave the classroom and where they're going if they were to ask them. When they're visiting the restroom, they would signal 4 fingers, and they would also wear their hallway vest. And when they turn in work, they would have to make sure their name is on it, and then turn in their assignment into the correct subject tray. Absent work, I would have an absent folder for them, and depending on what day they missed, they would have to be responsible in checking that folder. And when they exit the classroom, I would expect them to pack up all their belongings. They would have to pick up the trash around their working area. If the school allowed me to, I would give them a wipe, and they would have to wipe their desk, and then put the chairs on their desk. It'd be easier for the janitors to clean up my room, and they would line up quietly at the door. And that's just my class.